Scorn might be one of the strangest games I've ever played. It's truly a game that can only exist in the video game medium, and I'm sad a lot of people will probably give up on the game in the first 30 minutes. From the start, there are no training wheels, no guides, no hints. You're just thrown into this grotesque world with no understanding on what you should do and where you should go. But that's what I love most about the beginning of Scorn. You have no idea what kind of video game you are even playing. But once you pass that initial opening sequence, you realize you are playing a beautiful, crafted, and unique horror puzzle game with light FPS elements. Now, like any standard FPS game, as you move through the world, you will unlock new weapons that will help you fight the strange creatures of this alien planet, but your supply of ammo is very scarce, so you need to choose your engagements wisely. I found that over half the creatures I came across I didn't have to fight if I just stayed patient and just let them do their thing, which I thought was interesting, really gave me this false sense of security I might be able to pull this off through the whole game. But there comes times where it's absolutely necessary to fight, and understanding how fast your weapons can kill these creatures and which ones to use on what helps tremendously. Now there are 4 weapons in total, and I'm not sure if I'll be accurately describing these because it's kind of hard to tell what they are just by looking at them. But there's a pistol, shotgun, the penetrator as I like to call it because I mean look, I just poke shit. Then last but not least, the grenade launcher, which is very disappointing to me. You get it basically towards the end of the game and you don't get the chance to really use it on any enemies outside of one boss fight. It is more or less used to solve puzzles in the final area of the game. Now all of these weapons ammo minus the grenade launcher can be refilled at these lovely meaty looking stations. You also have stations that give you blood that you can use to heal yourself when injured. Now these stations only hold so much, so once you deplete them, that's it. And let me drive home how important it is to monitor your health, because at some point in the game, a parasite will latch onto you, and over the course of the game, it will damage you as it tries to consume your body. This can lead to your death if your health is too low from combat. Also, certain mechanical contraptions in the world can damage you. Heck, you even take damage in short cutscenes, which is actually a nice touch by the devs. They really hammer home the despair your character is trying to overcome at every turn. Not knowing if you're going to make it out or not is a real thought as you make your way through the game with this parasite that is slowly killing you, but also helping you along the way by holding items for you. Speaking of making your way through the game, as you travel through the world of Scorn, it's hard not to appreciate the absolute beauty captured by the devs. Even though you have this strange, grotesque look throughout the game, each new area you enter has a very unique look that stands out from the rest. From breathtaking vistas to closed corridors that might have danger around every corner, it's hard not to love what the devs have done, especially when you consider how they have interweaved the puzzles throughout the level design so seamlessly, and honestly, that is the best part about Scorn. The puzzle designs really are brilliant. It will make you think once or twice as you scan the environment to figure out what's next, which is so cool to me, because by doing this, the player is also seeing a story told through the environment while solving these puzzles. There are many sexual themes expressed in the environment of Scorn. I'm sure some people see it as the devs being edgy, but if you really pay attention from the start to finish, you can literally see a story unfold about a civilization that is truly interesting and worth trying to understand. Now, Scorn isn't a very long game. It took me roughly 5 hours to complete it. I would be lying if I said I wish it wasn't a little longer. I feel there are some missed opportunities and areas where there could have been more enemies or puzzles. Heck, maybe even some collectibles. And that's probably my biggest issue with Scorn. The pacing can feel very off at times from this. Too much wasted space in such an interesting design world. Not to mention, if you're going to include combat in your game, you should probably make it a little more polished. As much as I love the weapon and creature designs in Scorn, it was easily my least favorite part about the game. The enemies are so generic outside of the final boss, it's almost a crime to even have combat in this game. It would have almost been better to design Scorn as a stealth horror game with a greater emphasis on puzzle solving and surviving. Luckily though, outside of my combat issues, the game did perform perfect for me. I didn't have a single glitch or frame drop the whole playthrough while playing on the Series X. Now I have seen some others have crazy glitches where they have fallen through elevators or floors, So I consider myself lucky on that front, but I figured it was worth noting. Whenever you have a short video game time-wise, it's very important to me that the glitches or bugs are at a minimum, because if your 5-hour adventure is filled with 30 minutes of glitches, what are you most likely going to remember as a player? Just something to keep in mind. But with that said, overall, Scorn is a video game that definitely took a chance at being something different. It missed in a few areas, but where it lands, it's undeniable how brilliant it can be when at its best, and I hope this is something Ebb Software returns to in the future, whether that's a sequel or a brand new standalone game, because despite its flaws, Scorn is one of my favorite games so far this year, and I highly recommend it if you have a spare afternoon to play through it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll talk to y'all whenever the next one is.